remember suffixing with the word Anna. That was really a touching way of introducing the persons. I love it, sir. Thank you so much for that kind of introduction. And once again, I thank Principal sir for having given me a beautiful note on an introduction to what a mind map is and what a mind map can do for the students and what it can do for the teachers. So thank you so much sir, for that introductory note. With that, let me begin my presentation. And what is the expected learning outcome of this presentation? In this presentation, I will like to tell you about what is the meaning of a mind map and what are the various components of a mind map, what are the steps in building an effective mind map, what are the advantages of building a good mind map, and few examples. And apart from that, I would like to give a small demo on an open source mind mapping tool called XMind. See, the purpose is not to insist you to make use of this particular software, but the purpose is to make you understand what a normal mind mapping software will have in it. What are the various operating procedures that we normally see in a mind mapping tool, so that with this background, you will be able to explore any mind mapping software for the matter, and you will try to build the mind maps of your own. So, see, the ultimate goal of any educational system is to see that we happen to overlook, we happen to observe a desirable, expected change in the learners. The change can be in terms of knowledge, it can be in terms of skills learned by them, or in terms of the way they look at the world, the way they understand the concepts, the way they reciprocate to what happens to them. So teachers have been using different kinds of technologies, starting from chalk and talk method to the present day click and talk method. We employ all kinds of tools and techniques in order to see that our learners learn exactly what we intend to teach them. And one such tool which is very popular among the teaching faculty is mind map. See, mind map is not only that tool that can be used by teachers, it is one of the tools that can be used by teachers in addition to their normal day-to-day learning and teaching strategies. So let me start with this. What is a mind map? As principals have rightly pointed out, a mind map is a visual tool. Whatever information you have, you are going to organize the information in a visual form, just like a web. You know how a web looks like. The same web structure, you are going to organize the information. And mind map, it is a diagram wherein you take a central concept or a central subject and find out all the related words, concepts and items, and all these related concepts and items will be built around the central concept, so that the visual will look like a non-linear graphical layout. It's not a linear presentation. It can go in any direction. It's a multi-directional way of presenting ideas which are connected to a particular central theme. So this is a basic structure of a mind map. You have a central idea, a key idea, and you find out 4 major branches or 4 major concepts associated with the central idea, and each concept can further be divided into sub branches, and that way you can keep on expanding the branches. You can build around the central idea just like a web. And can you see this particular diagram? It says that a mind map is a method for storing information, organizing information. You can set priority for the information, learn information, review information, and memorize information. And it is a method for storing and summarizing the information, and it presents a comprehensive summary of information. It presents fusion of pictures that may stimulate your senses. It may present a fusion of words that may stimulate your logic and intellect. It may help you to present an overview of the chosen topic or subject. Good. So what is the difference between mind map and mind mapping? Please understand, mind map is a product. It is an end product. It is a tool using which you are trying to show what are the different ideas that are associated with a particular concept. Fine. And what is mind mapping? So mind mapping is a process which involves two steps basically. What is the first step? So you need to brainstorm. You take a particular concept, brainstorm it, discuss about it, explore about it, discover about it, go in on inventing about it, and try to find out different ideas which are associated with that particular concept. You are documenting all the words, first step. And second step, whatever words you documented through your brainstorming sessions, you are going to plot all these words on the mind map itself. That's second stage. So these two stages collectively, this is the process. It goes by the name mind mapping. Though mind mapping has been in practice for many years, the credit of inventing the present form of mind map, it goes back to 1970s to a great person called Tony Buzan. Fine. Here are a few examples for mind maps. This is a very simple mind map which is created for teaching basic English grammar. This is a central theme. You got verbs, adverbs, tenses, adjective, pronoun, noun, and many more things. And this is a very simple mind map on parts of speech that we can teach our children. A teacher can learn about different parts of speech starting from pronoun, noun, verb, articles, prepositions, and whatnot. And this is a mind map on punctuation marks. What are the various punctuation marks and what does it look like? What is the purpose of using that particular punctuation mark? And one example for that particular punctuation mark. Fine. And this is a mind map for the individual. We can create mind map even for an individual. This is the mind map built for Tony Buzan. So different multifaceted personality of Tony Buzan is depicted in this particular mind map. He's an author, educator, sports person, he's an advisor, he's a founder of many things, and he's a creator of software. As an author, he has written more than 95 books. He visited a good number of countries. He knows 30+ languages. So different aspects of this particular individual can be depicted in a very, very visual form using mind map. In this family tree, you take any great individual, the family history of that great individual or a ruler or a king or a ruler can be depicted using a mind map. Fine. When it comes to mathematics, this is a mind map on whole numbers. So when you want to teach something to children on whole numbers, the teacher is preparing a lesson plan. He can use this kind of mind map to teach children on whole numbers. Fine. And this is another mind map which talks about different sources of information. We have primary sources, we have secondary sources. Whether it is primary or secondary, we can have either qualitative data or quantitative data. So what are the sources from where you will be able to get access to both qualitative and quantitative information? So this is being depicted in this particular mind map. And this is a mind map of various research designs that are available for the researchers. So many kinds of research designs like experimental design, qualitative or descriptive. So all different methods are depicted in this particular mind map. And in this particular mind map, we are trying to showcase the two different branches of statistics, maybe descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. And this particular portion, they give general information about the statistical analysis. Not only that, even those who are in the field of marketing, when they want to introduce a new product or when they want to improve the sales quantity of a particular product, or when they want to increase the name and fame of a particular product, so they have marketing strategies. So even these marketing strategies can be planned effectively using mind maps. Apart from that, see, we have got a lot of problems. Maybe in the class, we have got some problem. Some students are not taking the studies very seriously. Many slow learners, some are not submitting homework. So many problems are there. when there's a problem, even you can prepare a problem solving mind map. A mind map that will help you to identify the problem. You'll be able to analyze the current situation. You can find out the reasons for that particular problem. You can find out the solutions, and you can implement and check whether it is okay or not. Even for these kinds of problem solving situations, you can use mind map. Now, what are the different purposes for which mind maps can be used by all of us? Whether you are the teachers, or you are the librarians, or you are the teacher educators, or you are the research scholars, you can make use of mind map for all these 10 different purposes. You can brainstorm an idea. You can have a track on what is going on in a meeting. You can take a decision based on the condition available in a particular environment. If you have some information, the information can be organized meticulously in a very less space. Maximum information can be displayed using mind map. You can create a strategy. Whenever you feel that you need to design a strategy, a set of actions required to complete a task, you can make use of mind map. You can plan an event. So if you're planning events, you can prepare a mind map on who will take care of registration, who will take care of printing aspects, who will take care of resource person, who will take care of compiling. So you can prepare a mind map on how to plan a particular program. So if you're trying to conduct a project in a class, your entire project activity can be modeled using a mind map. So you've got some novel ideas, new ideas. So when you want to present this new idea to your management, to any enlightened learning body, you can use mind map to exactly showcase what idea you have in mind. When you want to assess a situation, you want to assess how COVID-19 is in my district. When you want to assess a situation, you can make use of mind maps. When a class is going on, lecture is going on, when you want to take notes, you can make use of mind maps. Good. Fine. And what are different methods of preparing a mind map? So you want to prepare a mind map. The first and foremost method is creating a mind map in your mind. That's the first way. Whatever technology, whatever traditional or modern technology you're going to adopt, the first and foremost thing is that you should have an idea in your mind. You should try to create, maybe by reading, by discussion, by brainstorming. You should get a lot of ideas. You should try to create connections between the ideas around in the major concept in your mind. So mind is a place of birth for mind maps. And once you've got some idea, now you are going to put that idea in the form of either a physical or a soft copy mind map. Either your mind map can be a hand-drawn mind map. Take a piece of paper, keep in the landscape position, take pen, pencil, paint, all those things and all. You can do a hand-drawn mind map. Otherwise, you can make use of softwares. There are some softwares which can be downloaded and they can be saved in your desktop and you can work on that. At the same time, there are some online softwares. Just to log into Google, just go to Google, type the URL of the particular site that helps you to build mind map. You'll be landing at that particular website. You need not download any software. You can prepare mind maps online. So these are different ways of creating making a mind map. Good. So basically, when you want to create a mind map, basically we have got 6 different steps. What is the first step? You have to decide upon the central topic. What is the topic on which you are going to discuss about today? The major central theme. And secondly, once the central topic is ready, you need to find out branches, the major components which are associated with the central topic. You have to draw the branches. Once branches are ready, I've got 5 branches here. You can go for sub branches. So every branch can be subdivided into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sub branches or sub branches. Once central topic is ready, branches are okay and sub branches are okay, then you talk about images or icons. For every branch, whenever there is a possibility, you will try to find out an appropriate image or an icon. You have to add it, either prefixing or suffixing or placing it over or placing it under that particular keyword. Okay. And the 5th one, if at all you feel that you can create a kind of associations, kind of links between any two different keywords, branches, sub branches. You can create links, you add links. Once these 5 steps are over, you can have a overall view of your presentation. You feel is it okay, then finalize. Good. And some great experts in the field of mind mapping, they've given us some basic guidelines that can be kept by in our mind whenever you go for preparing a mind map, either for yourself or for your students or whatever it may be. See, what are the guidelines? It says that that should be a central concept. You have to start from there. And this center concept can be have a picture also, image also. And whenever you want to develop a style, you should try to develop a style of your own. You take concepts from somewhere, you see others' ideas, but try to develop a unique style of your own in presenting mind maps. And as far as use of keywords, you have to see that print quality is maintained. Either you can go for uppercase or lowercase, absolutely no problem. And see that your lines, the branching, sub-branching lines, what you are using, those lines are properly organized. See, if you are talking about a main branch, a very important concept, then you can have a thicker line for that. If you're talking about less important items, sub branches, you can have thinner lines. And as far as lines are concerned, many different styles are there. Either you can go for organic style with a lot of branches, or free flowing lines, as you like. And see that whatever word, whatever image you use in the branches or sub branches, they should, their length, the length of the word, the length of the image, what you are using in your mind map should be same as the length of the line what you are using. So line length and the word or image length will be almost same. Then as far as lines are concerned, once again, you see that you are drawing a line individually for every word, every image, and see that each and every line is connected to the center. You take any line, that will be at last connected to the central portion. And you may have to make use of links. You can use colors. Wherever you feel like emphasizing a particular concept, you can emphasize. You can use images. You can use codes. You can use different dimension shapes you can use. And apart from that, when you want to present a bunch of ideas, either you can go for outlining or ordering like 1, 2, 3, or you can make use of these kinds of hierarchical system of displaying concepts. And when using images, please understand, you can make use of color images, but let the images be relevant. And even you can make use of 3D images if your system permits. And when we talk about branches, please understand, the main branches will talk about key ideas, main ideas, and the sub branches, they'll talk about the thoughts or ideas which are associated with the main branch. If you want, even you can number the branches. And please understand, the mind map, what you're going to prepare should exactly reflect your brain thinking, or your brain thinking process should be reflected in the mind map what you're preparing. And when using mind map, you can use different colors. See this mind map, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They use 6 different colors, maybe to denote 6 different ideas, 6 different concepts. And when you're using mind map, please understand, students left brain and right brain both should be utilized to make use of mind map. So your mind map should embrace the analytical skill and also the creative skills. And don't worry about the perfection. When you start working on a mind map, you keep on working on that. So once you started working, you'll get a lot of new ideas. You can always keep on trying to make it better in the days to come. In the past, please understand, when you're creating a mind map, you have a central idea, you have some branches, you have sub branches. Sometimes even a small node in any one of those sub branches also may be developed into a separate mind map. So you have all the provisions for that. And these are the Tony Buzan's 10 guidelines on how effectively you can create a mind map. I think we have discussed about all the 10 points in the earlier mind maps. So once your mind map is ready, what you can do is that You can download the mind map if you are using a software. You can download it either as an image file or a PDF file. You can share it maybe with WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. You can share it. If you want, you can even email this to set of students or your friends. And if you're having a personal blog or a website, even this mind map can be embedded into your blog or a website. Good. And what are the different tools? So many different softwares are available. Let me just tell you a few softwares. First of all, let me tell you something about desktop versions. Software which can be downloaded, stored in your system. Whenever you are free, you can open it and you can use it. These are the few examples. One is FreeMind, very good one. You can try, please. And secondly, there is something called Compendium. This is also equally good. Then we have MindMaster. This particular software is available both as a desktop version and also online version. MindMaster. Then FreePlane, just like OpenMind, even FreeMind is good. You can try this CMap tools, and we have yet another thing called Glyphy with us. And these are the few desktop versions of the software. When it comes to online edition, there are some online softwares. Just go to online. You can create all the mind maps there, create an account over there. You can store the mind maps over there, and you can download it, no problem. I would like to quote few examples. One is bubble.us. You can try. And we have got MindMap. There's another beautiful mind mapping online tool, MindMap. And we have 100% free online mind mapping tool called Mind Map Ninja. You can try. And as I told you, MindMaster, both desktop version and online version you have. So before I start giving a demo, I'd like to concentrate in showing you a couple of mind maps. I'll just rush through. See how mind map can be used by teachers. So as a teacher in a school or a college, you can use mind maps either to prepare your lesson or to deliver your lesson, or when you want to plan your curriculum, you can do that. You can make use of our mind maps. You can create handouts that are required for your daily classroom interactions. You can encourage discussion with the help of mind maps. Even you can assess students with the help of mind maps. So teachers can make use of mind maps either pre-class situations or in-class environment or outside class situations. Maybe before you start a class, you go to a class, you need to plan and organize what you are going to teach, what you are going to test, how you are going to teach, how you are going to test. So you can make use of mind map. When the class is going on, when you're interacting with the students live, you can make use of mind map either for teaching or to distribute the handouts or presentations, or kind of creativity among children. You can use mind map. To make the children learn faster, you can make use of mind map. Though your class is over, you can make use of mind map as for collaboration. So you have prepared a mind map, you can give it to a friend, he may go through that, he may give his or her comments. Those comments can be incorporated to make your mind map much more better. Collaboration. You can assess, you can do assessments based on the mind maps of students for comprehension. Good. And as far as students are concerned, when students either they are making mind maps or they are making use of mind maps prepared by the teachers, n number of benefits await them. So very, very important point is they will be able to improve their memory and they will be able to recall the things, concepts, ideas faster. First benefit. Secondly, they will be able to let their ideas, let their keywords flow freely. So when you give a topic, they will think and they'll bring all the important keywords, they will explore, they will brainstorm, they will get a lot of ideas. So we are giving them an opportunity of letting them off their free thoughts. And once they start using mind map, our students will be able to structure the information. So whatever one page of a paragraph information you give it to them on a particular topic, so they will be able to structure it, maybe using some hierarchies or by finding the relationship existing between the terms. So they will be able to structure whatever information they get from their normal textbooks. And apart from that, definitely they'll be able to improve their communication. See, through mind map, they'll be able to communicate things better. Good. These are few mind maps. You can use mind map for self-analysis. You can give it to children, ask them to write and analyze about them. And you can use mind map for revision work. So whenever teacher wants to revise a particular concept, all the important points needed for revision can be platted using a mind map. And this can be used for conducting revisions on any subject of your choice. Or a teacher, when he or she wants to prepare a lesson plan, for example, in this particular semester, in a term, I am going to teach 6th standard English. So I can prepare a mind map on what are the topics I'm going to cover in this particular term, and how many exams I'm going to conduct, on what dates I'm going to conduct, what kind of materials I'm going to make use of for covering the syllabus required to be completed in this particular term, and what about the study trips which I am planning. So you can prepare a mind map. For example, in your class, you are organizing a project. What is the project? You are going to organize an exhibition, a photographic exhibition. You can prepare a mind map which will guide you. So what is the purpose? We are going to have an exhibition. And what are the tips? We are saying that you have to make use of original papers, natural light should be there. We are giving you tips. What is the term? What is the last date? How many photographs? And what is the assignment tips? What kind of photograph children can take? We are giving a lot of tips. And frequently asked question answer. See how many photographs a child can submit. So making all these things, you can prepare a rough plan of how you are going to implement a small project in your classroom. Even you can organize quizzes based on mind maps. And following screens will show you some subject related mind maps which I have gathered from many sources. I'm thankful to all those sources. This small mind map on maybe for pre-KG children you can use to teach them how they can look for, how to check the time. And this is a mind map on how you can connect yourself with nature. And this is a mind map on how you can save energy in your school. I mean, in terms of lighting, in terms of waste management, in terms of transport, in terms of water heating, in terms of office equipment, how you can save. And this is another mind map on how you can solve the problem of global warming. Lot of tips, maybe with regard to your home usage, in terms of travel, in terms of planting trees, all those things are there. Then here is a mind map on health. See, stress. What are the reasons for stress? What are the effects of stress? What are the solutions for stress? Exercises and how important sleep is. What kind of diet you should take. This small mind map on health. And here, this another mind map on nervous system. What is the importance of nervous system? What are the parts of the system? What are the functions? How you have to protect it? All the things are there. And this can be used effectively by language teachers. Whenever you want to introduce a particular book, a very good book to students, you can prepare a mind map on that particular book. See, this is a mind map on a very popular book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So using that, just this one mind map, the creator has given the information about all the 7 effective habits. Put first thing first. Begin with the end in mind. Be proactive. Sharpen the saw. Synergize. Seek to understand first. Think win-win. These are the 7 habits. All are explained beautifully, visually in a mind map. And this for mathematics teachers and measurement. A mind map on measurement. And even mind map can be interactive. You can prepare a mind map like this, with a blank here and there. You can give it to children. So what is your goal in terms of your career, in terms of finance, in terms of your relationship, in terms of sexuality, in terms of your family, in terms of your health? What is your health goal? You can make even mind map for interactive activities. And here is a mind map on friction, which can be used by science teachers. And this particular mind map, it talks about adaptations, how different animals adapt to different environments. And as far as social science is concerned, here is a mind map on fundamental rights of India, Indian Constitution. You can have it. And once again, for English teachers, this is a mind map on English tenses: simple, simple present, simple past, simple future, continuous, simple continuous, present continuous, past continuous. So a beautiful mind map on English tenses. And you want to teach yoga, importance of yoga, here's a mind map for you. And you know, Indian constitution has borrowed ideas from many different constitutions. And this mind map shows what are the different concepts we have borrowed from many different countries. And here's a mind map on electricity and its effects. And once again, here's a mind map on air, its components. Can use its huge. And when it comes to a teacher mind map to prepare for class in English, you talk about what are the objectives, what are the details, which classroom, which time, how many hours, what are the resources you need to conduct this particular class, and what kind of things you'll be preparing, and what activities you are going to organize for this particular lesson. Now, how you are going to evaluate yourself, and how you are going to assess the students. These are 7 steps. You can use this kind of mind map to prepare your lesson plans. Maybe the last one. Yeah, beautiful. Though I'm sorry, the mind map is very, very cumbersome. The letters are very small, but it's a very beautiful mind map I have seen, because the entire story, Little Red Riding Hood, the entire story is presented in the form mind map. See here, it talks about the story, how it is presented in the first person, first person. What is setting up the story? What are the 4 characters? You know, Little Riding Hood, Wolf, Grandma, and the Woodman. 4 characters. And the story has got 6 chapters. First chapter, Little Red Riding Hood starts, leaves for trip, and finds the wolf, and arrives at Grandma's mother. Grandma is the wolf, and Woodman saves. So entire story is reflected in the form of a single mind map. We can ask our own school children, teacher educators, to try to prepare mind map on such popular stories. Good, fine. So we can prepare mind maps on any subject, any topic. And what are the benefits? As we discussed, as our principal rightly pointed out, mind map helps us to brainstorm our ideas, our concepts, our problems. It will help us to understand the associations or relationship that existing between the branches of the core concept, and you'll be able to communicate your beliefs, your new ideas, your thought process more effectively. And you can take effective notes from meetings, for your lessons, of your planning, and you'll be able to recall. If you're using mind map, you'll be able to recall the facts, associations, and information very fast. Recall rate will be higher, and even you'll be able to organize your ideas or concepts or facts in a much more interesting manner. And this one particular mind map, it summarizes the whole thing about use of mind map. See, what are the benefits? It improves your imagination, your concentration, your note taking. It improves your level of interest. It improves your problem solving ability, and it's having the capacity. It improves your capacity to remember complex information. It helps you to remember related chunks of information. It helps you to see detailed information about a particular concept. It helps you to see bigger picture of something. It helps you to have a clear idea, a clear-cut idea of your goals, plans, ideas, and thoughts. It helps you to make learning fun and interesting, and it helps you to save your time. So many such benefits are following. So that's all about my theoretical part of my presentation. Now let me go to the software which I talked about. And this software, I think you are able to see the software screen. XMind 8 Update 9. Okay, this is a software I am using for the purpose of demonstration. Just go to Google and type XMind. You will reach the website. Though recently we have XMind 2020 available, I personally suggest you please download XMind 8 Update 9 version. It is fully free. If you go to XMind 2020, they provide you only trial version. Once the trial period is over, you may not be able to use it. But this particular XMind 8 Update 9, you can use it forever. There's no restriction. Fine. A single exe file, click it, you land here. This is a home page of this particular XMind software. Okay, these are the menu items. File. We have edit, view, insert, modify. These are the different menus. On the right side, you got many items. Okay, I'll just tell you maybe a bit later. Let me begin with. So I'll go to file. Okay. I click on new. I go to file, click on new. I get two options. One is blank, another is templates. These are the blank formats. See, many different blank formats are there. Maybe organization chart type, or logic chart, or fishbone model, or matrix model, or timeline model, or tree model. These are the blank models. If you want to start with a blank format, a skeleton, you can choose skeleton, you can work. Otherwise, click on templates. The software gives you a set of templates, ready-made forms, ready-made formats available along with Xmind software. If you are interested, even you can choose any one particular template and you can just change the words and you can make use of the available ready-made templates. Fine. So let me start with the blank one. Maybe let me select something like maybe this, for example. It shows you. See, already using this particular blank format, some people have used mind map and created. I can choose any one. Okay, for that later you can change, no problem. And click on create. Once you do that, you get a blank screen. Only central image is there. For example, as a teacher, maybe as a teacher educator, I am going to teach my children, or I am going to create a handout on COVID-19. See, COVID-19 is a pandemic disease, and we are planning to, the teacher is planning to prepare a mind map on COVID-19. So what is central topic? The central topic, double click it, you'll get this particular option. You can go and type COVID-19. This is your central theme. Fine. Now central theme is fixed. I'm going to talk about COVID-19. So instead of having a simple text, I like to add an image. So single left click to choose this particular central topic, then give a single left click. Okay. And once you give a single right click afterwards, you'll get a pop-up menu like this, with a lot of options. I go to insert, fine. There in the insert, there's an option called image from file. You click on image from file. In the desktop, already I have a file. Let me go desktop. There is a folder called let me find out the folder. Okay, and this is the folder where whatever pictures or concepts or files I needed for creating this mind map, already I planned everything in my mind. I collected the pictures and stored all the images and required information in this particular folder. What is the name of the folder? July 30 mind map COVID-19. So I want a picture of coronavirus. So let me take this particular picture. Click on open. You can see here the picture has come. Okay. What you can do that? You can reduce the size of the picture to the extent you like. And the picture can be moved any side. Whether you want to move the picture to the right side or downward or upward, you can move it. So now central topic is decided. I type the topic and I inserted an image which I already downloaded and kept in my folder. Fine. Now I'm going to create the branches, major branches. So what can be branches? Single right click, keeping the cursor on this particular central topic, give a single right click, you will get insert, click on topic. First topic is ready. Then again right click, insert topic, second topic is ready. Right click, insert topic, third one is ready. Right click, insert topic, right click, insert topic, right click, insert topic. For example, I have identified 6 major branches of this particular topic called COVID-19. I can go and type. What is the first one? It's a virus. What is the second one? Maybe something like I want to talk about the symptoms of this particular disease. And third one, I want to say how this particular disease is getting transmitted from person to person. And fourth one, I want to talk about the treatment. What kind of treatments are available for this particular disease? And then I should talk about prevention, how we can prevent this particular disease. And I will tell the people what is the nature of this particular disease. Fine. So as far as myself is concerned, I would like to present the idea about COVID-19 in terms of 6 major branches. So I have selected all the branches. Now, first step is over, second step is over, and third step, I have to go and add sub branches to each and every branch. I got 6 branches. Now I'm going to create sub branches. Single left click to select that particular branch, then give a right click, click insert subtopic. Right click, insert subtopic. So I created two sub branches for the branch virus. Let me now type. So this is a coronavirus, fine, and it is ease of speed, how fast it spreads, fine. And what about ease of speed? I again left click, single right click, insert subtopic. I can say that it is very high, which is very high. The ease of speed, how fast it spreads, very high, something like that, fine. The virus is a coronavirus and it moves, it transmits very fast. What about the symptoms? Second branch, for example, single left click to select the branch and single right click, insert subtopic. Again insert subtopic, again insert subtopic. For example, I would like to have 3 sub branches for this branch. So what are symptoms? One can be fever, you can have a fever, or you have some breathing difficulty, maybe it's another symptom. Maybe something like loss of smell, you lose your smelling sense, fine. So these are the few symptoms of COVID-19, and this way you can go and create sub branches for all the branches. That's clear, okay? Creating branches, creating sub branches. Now comes, for example, let me take this treatment problem, treatment branch, single right click, click insert. If you want to create a note, if you want to create a label, if you want to create a comment, if you want to create a hyperlink, if you want to attach this particular branch to an external file, you can do that. For example, I click on insert, okay? I just go to notes. When I click notes, a box appears. I can say this branch talks about the treatment of, don't mind the mistake please, okay, enter. So one note is created. So this way you can create notes for all branches or sub branches. If you click on this particular icon, you will be taken to the right side where you can see whatever things you typed appears here. You can increase the font size, you can increase the font style, you can make it bold, you can align this, you can change the background color. If you want to add a picture also, you can add for this particular note. If you want to add a picture, no problem, you give a click on this particular insert an image, you click that, you find out any one image which you like to insert it, select the picture, click open, okay. So even for small notes also you can add some pictures, it's quite possible, okay. Let me come out this, right side click on this particular icon, notes, you will be able to come out, fine. That's about notes. Let me go to prevention, right click, say insert. For example, I want to give some comments on this, okay. I want to give some comment, okay. What's the command? Okay, students, children, prepare, yeah, album, something like that. You want to give a comment to students, you can prepare a comment. If a child clicks this particular one, they'll be able to see what is the comment given for this particular branch. You can add comments, no problem, fine. Single left click, then single right click, insert. In insert, you can go to hyperlink. See, when you click on hyperlink, the software provides you 3 options. One is the particular branch, you can give connection to your internet URL. If you're having a URL which is related to, which talks about coronavirus and its disease, COVID-19 disease, you can give the link of that particular website address here. For example, I have a website called something like, okay, google.com, fine. This is a link I would like to create, and say okay. You can see here a link is created. So if a child who is happening to open and see this particular mind map, if he clicks on this particular link, you can see here the particular website will be opening. So even that kind of thing also can be done using your mind map, fine, good. That's about linking to an external resource, now URL you are giving to participants, fine. Otherwise, for example, go to insert, hyperlink. See, for example, you have downloaded something in your computer, maybe later point of view you want to revise for yourself, so you want to give a link to a file which is available in your own system. So what you can do is that click on file and click on choose file, and you can decide which file you want to give a link to. For example, I selected one file, I say open, I say okay. You can see here, yeah, PDF file is available here. See, I have given a link to a particular file which is available in my computer system. Fine. You click on this, see, the file will be open. We can read the file side by side. So that kind of linking is also possible. Or sometimes if you feel that you want to give this mind map to somebody else, in that case, what you can do, instead of linking it, you can attach a particular file to a part and parcel of this mind map. Even attaching is very much possible. For example, I click on treatment, right click, insert, I go to attachment. See, I just select any one file, I say open. You see now a file is attached. It is not in my system. Now it is added as a part and parcel of this particular mind map. If you give a click, if anybody who has access to the particular mind map, if they click on this particular symbol, PDF symbol, they will be able to read the entire PDF file. So these are the ways by which you can attach or you can give link to various even external sources to the branches, the concepts what you created for your mind map. Fine. Once these things are over, I told you about how to insert an image file, how to insert notes, comments, hyperlink and attachments, and even relationship. If you want to link two different concepts, you can create. Okay, any concept can be linked with any concept. For example, I click on insert, I go to relationship. You can see here I can create link for this particular branch to any other branch. So this way I can create a branch, no problem. Even that kind of relationships also, links also can be created. Fine, that's about it. Then come to right side, insert. I think I told you about all these options. Let me go to second one, marker. See, whenever you want to keep a small icon, either a number or an image or a picture, either prefixing or suffixing your branches, you can make use of markers. Many different kinds of markers are available. For example, what I did was that I selected virus, single right click, markers, task priority. You can select one. For example, you see here, this is prefix to one particular branch. Second branch, right click, marker, I go to faces, I can add a face, or I can task progress, I can add a flag. For example, I have added a flag, I prefixed. Then I go to third branch, I click on markers, maybe people, maybe arrows, maybe symbols. Many symbols I can add. Any symbol what you would feel more appropriate for your particular branch, you can add it. So this way you can add any marker to branches and also sub branches. Even that is possible. Fine, good. So I told you about insert option, I told you about markers. Fine. For example, see, we started building a map. I feel that the word prevention is very congested here, so I don't have place to work on prevention. So what I can do is that I can take away this branch to a separate place. I can work on that branch. I can add all the contents. Once my work is over, I can bring it back and add it as a part of main mind map. How to do that? Single left click, single right click, click on drill down. If you click on drill down, what happens? That particular branch alone has come out separately. Now what you can do? You can go on to work on this prevention. What are the various prevention measures available? For example, how you can prevent? One is distancing. You have to have social distancing. And secondly, we have to wash our hands more frequently. So I added two branches, and here I'm going to add some pictures. For distancing, single left click, single right click, go to insert, image from file, and I have got some picture for distancing. Okay, let me select the picture. Picture has come. Fine. If you want, I can reduce the picture size. Good. Still further, I can reduce it, or I can take it to the right side or even left side also I can do it. Then wash hands, same way. I go to insert, I go to image from file. But washing hands also I got some pictures. I add the pictures. Good. And I can reduce size of the picture. I can take it this way or that way also, no problem. Fine. So once you have prepared this particular branch thoroughly, now what you can do is that you can take this branch back to the main mind map. So click on this arrow, drill up, click it. It will go and join the original mind map. So this way also you can take work on an individual branch, then you can bring it back and add to the mind map. That's also permitted. Okay, for example, maybe when you're working on a mind map, you feel that to give more information about the particular disease, I feel that the space is not sufficient. So I feel that for this disease alone, I can create another mind map. If you feel so, what you can do is that single left click, single right click, you can say new sheet from topic. You click on new sheet from topic. You can see here, please see the left bottommost portion of the screen. Already sheet 1 was there. This was the sheet we are working on. Here, one more additional sheet is created called disease. That is one particular branch alone I made look like an independent mind map. Now I can go on to work on this particular topic, treating it as a separate mind map. I can create an in-depth mind map on this particular disease alone. So this way, you can go and create any number of worksheets, just like MS Excel. In one MS Excel file, you can have as many worksheets as possible. Same way, just for one particular mind map file, you can have any number of worksheets. If you want more worksheets, see, take the cursor to the bottommost left side, give a right click, rename sheet, copy sheet, duplicate sheet, new blank sheet. Okay, you can create any number of sheets. So even if you take a broader concept also, you can create individual worksheets to discuss about branches which are very, very important. Fine. So even that kind of creation of new worksheets based on the branches are also permitted in this particular mind mapping tool. Fine. Now let me talk about, I'll take another 10 more minutes. I will talk about the formatting features. For example, let me select virus 1. Okay, give a right click. Two options are there, structure or format. Click on structure. Many structures are there. If you want to change the structure, how that particular branch should look like, you can change it. For example, I am changing like organization chart down to up. Click that. You see, the structure is entirely changed. So this way, you can go on change the structure of each and every branch. Absolutely no problem. How to do that? Single left click, single right click. You can see a structure, and you can go and select any structure you feel up for that particular branch. Fine. And next one is click virus, right click, format. Go to format. Many options are there. Suppose you want to change the color. Okay, for example, you want to increase the font size. I want to have it 18. You can see font size is increased now. You want to make it bold, or you want to change the color. You want to give different colors. Tony Buzan says that you have to make use of at least 3 colors in your mind map. So use as many colors as possible as useful for your community. Okay, you can change the color, and you can have uppercase, lowercase, or capitalize. So whatever you want, you can have it. And you can change the shape. I want to have an ellipse. I want to have a rectangle. I want to have a circle or parallelogram, whatever you want. For example, I want to have rounded rectangle. Click this. You can see now. Okay. Some diamond. See, it is changed. You can change. And as I told you, you have to decide whether you are going to make this concept important or less important. If it's very important, then you have to give fattest line or fat line. See, fattest. See, that means that it is an important concept. So you can make use of thinner and thicker lines. Even this particular connecting methodology style also can be changed. For example, I want to change this particular style into arrowed curve. You can see here. See, it is changed. So this way you got different kind of line styles also. And apart from that, if you want to change any particular branch to any style, you click the branch. Okay, and here you can come and choose any one. So it's a cloud type. Click on topic. You can see this particular branch is entirely changed. Shape is changed. See, all these kinds of formatting is possible when you choose a branch, give a right click, and click on format. A menu appears, and all these formatting is possible. Fine. Yes. And what about the formatting of the entire document? See, if you want to bring the entire change the whole document, then keep the cursor anywhere. Don't keep the cursor on any of the branches. Leave the cursor to be there anywhere. Single right click, click on format. You can see now this formatting features are applicable to the entire file, not a particular branch, entire file. For example, I want to change the background. So click on this particular option and choose any one color of your choice. See, background to change, you can change the background, or some ready-made wallpapers are there. You can go and change the wallpaper also. For example, let me click this particular wallpaper. You see now, see wallpaper I have changed. Okay, and if you want to have gradient color, if you want to show notes, hyperlinks, so whatever you want to have a global effect on your file, you can try it this way. Keep the cursor anywhere, right click, go to format, options are there, you can use it. Good. And apart from this, there are a few more things I would like to tell you before I conclude my session. So here, for example, if you want to create a boundary, select virus, single right click, insert, say boundary. See, a boundary is created. So you can create a boundary for each and every branch. That is very much possible. Fine. The right side, come to rightmost side, outline. If you click this one, you will see the outline of entire mind map. See, whatever you have created for each and every branch, all the names are there. If you are making any change here, for example, here it is something like COVID-19. So I have to say this is COVID 2020, for example. So when I make a small change here, you can see here it is automatically changed in the mind map. So if you want to make any change in the textual content, what you can do that we can come and make all the changes in outline. It will automatically get reflected in the mind map. So this is about the outlining feature. Then if you come to file option, very important thing is that so you can import and export. So you can export. See, this particular mind map file can be exported into a format that can be used by other mind mapping softwares. So that kind of exporting is possible. Click on export. These many options are available: Xmind 2008 workbook, FreeMind, MindJet, Lighten, or even your image file. You can export, no problem. And even if you want to import, also you can import. For example, you are having a Word file, having some contents in some rows and columns. You can import the Word file into a mind map as a mind map. For example, click on import, select Microsoft Word, next. And let me select one particular file which already selected, give open, say finish. You can see here, so whatever may the contents you have, all the contents have been converted into a mind map. So even that kind of importing option is also available in this particular software. Fine, that's about import and export option, and you can save this as a mind map file. And apart from that, just like how you carry out corrections in MS Word, you can go and check your spelling, you can find and replace. Those things are very much possible. And apart from that, so whatever commands are available in the mind map, all the commands are available in the menu form also. You can go and get all these file formats also, no problem. And apart from this, I will tell you, see here in the bottom rightmost side, you can see one kind of a funnel is there. If you click the funnel, you can choose the marker. Please remember, we have used many markers. Okay, by clicking this funnel, if you select any one particular marker, for example, I select yes, money. If I select that, only that particular branch alone will be brighter. So that way you can focus upon any particular branch using this funnel. Fine. And next to that, a small eye is there. If you click that, you will see, you will get an overview how my mind map will look like. That kind of overview you will get. And here, minus and plus, you can increase or decrease the size of your mind map. These are the options. Fine. So I have got a mind map. What I can do is that I can save this mind map as a mind map file. I can give to my friends or teachers, students. If they're also having a mind map software that can read my file, they'll be able to read and access whatever I am able to access here. Otherwise, if you're preparing a kind of a PPT, something like that, you want to have a image version of this particular mind map. So what you can do is that, please come to the top rightmost side, click this downward arrow, click on export image. It is asking whether you want this particular mind map to be exported as a JPEG file, a GIF or PNG or PMP. I selected JPEG file. Okay, I select finish. Okay, and say open. You can see here now the file is open, the file is saved. So this way you can save whatever work you have done, you can save it. Fine. And I'll take 1 more minute, only 1 more minute. See, you have done such a hard work in preparing one particular template. Okay. And you want to set this particular template as a basic template, so that in future also, if I am going to take class on Ebola virus or chikungunya or matangunya or any virus, something like that, I can take this particular template what I created, the same model I can use it to create mind map for other diseases also. In that case, you can save your mind map as a template. Okay, go to file, save as template, click on save as template, then give a name, something like disease. Okay, say okay. Now your particular mind map is saved as a template. Once it is there as a template, in future whenever you want to create a mind map on disease, you can take this particular template, change the words, you can create mind map fast. So this is the basic operational procedures and tools available in this particular XMind 8 update 9. Since this is a free version, there are some items, some tools, some tips which are available for the pro users. They may not be available for the free version users, just something like this. But still, I'm feeling that this is a very simple to use software. Anybody can download and make use of it. It's very simple. Once you start exploring this, once you get mastery over using this particular software, then you can go on exploring all other mind mapping softwares. So dear friends, let's make use of this mind mapping tool. Let's create mind maps and let's reach the minds of our friends and our students. Thank you so much. Thank you, organizers. Now the session is over to you. And the participants, when you feel like asking questions, you can